Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to share with you few of the tips and the tricks related to the writing task. So definitely this video is going to be very important for you. So please watch it till the end. In this video, I'm going to talk about your writing task response for general as well as for academics. I'm going to answer few of your queries as well, and then later on we will discuss about the different templates, that whether it is prudent for the students to use different templates or not. So I got queries from many students that, sir, whether it is prudent for us to use these templates or not. So the answer to this question is it depends. See, if without using any templates, if still you are able to score 6 point more than 7.5 or 8 or 8.5, so I don't, in that case I don't prefer you to go with these templates, because the probability is that if you will use templates, if you would not be able to use these templates very wisely, in not in a structured or an organized manner, so the probability is that you can even get less marks, right? So even if you are choosing templates, so you need to make sure that you choose templates without any grammatical mistakes, right? There are many templates which are available online and are full of grammatical mistakes. I mean, definitely a day before yesterday, one of my student asked that, sir, please send me these templates. So I downloaded the template for her and I checked, and I got to know that no, these templates are not good to go with. Even if you will wholly revive the templates without any mistakes, still you can't get a perfect 9 man. But definitely the students who are facing problems while writing, they are not able to form a sentence very coherently or in a structured manner, then for that students I think templates are good to go with. So definitely using these templates they can score more than 7 months if now they are struggling with their writing task, and now if they are able to score 5 or 6.5 or 6 bands, so definitely templates are going to be very helpful for them. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you advantages and disadvantages template. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. First of all, I will give you about the review of the template based on the advantages and disadvantages, and later on we will solve a question. I will write an essay on a particular given topic, and then we will see what ideas, what keywords uh, are important for you to keep in your mind while forming a sentence or a response. So yes, so this is a template which looks like. So always try to categorize the writing task in 4 different parts, right? So in the first part, here it is our introduction. Then in the further 2 paragraphs, which is body paragraph 1 and 2, the author discussed about the advantages and disadvantages, right? And in the later part of the paragraph, the author discussed about the conclusion. So I think these 4 paragraphs are good to go with, but still if you want to add one more paragraph, so definitely you can add according to your need. So but at the same time, please don't write paragraphs more than 6 or 7, otherwise it will not make any sense. You don't need to write the research paper, right? You just want to dictate a writing task response for the task 2 in, like, it is advisable to write at least 250 words, but please don't write more than 350 or 400 words, otherwise it will look like a research paper, and definitely you don't have much time to think about that topic. And definitely if you would be able to think about more, so definitely you have to be very cohesive, you have to be very coherent, you have to wisely use lexical resources as well here for the writing task. So definitely see if you are able to write your writing task response for the task to response and, for example, or for instance 25 minutes or 30 minutes, so definitely the rest of the time, which is 10 minutes, you can invest to check your grammatical mistakes. You can check and put more efforts to change the synonyms. So, and also you can check your grammar, you can check your writing task or response, that whether it is good to go with or not. So let's just talk about this template. There is no denying fact that the phenomena of dash is ubiquitous across the globe due to its importance. Basically, ubiquitous means prevailing, so you can also use prevailing word here, but I didn't want to use prevailing because of because ubiquitous is a bit more complex word here, right? Majority of folks are in the favor of this statement due to its number of merits. However, some of the people highlights its demerits first. So you can see that in the first sentence I did write here majority of folks, right? So now, not using the words again and again, I have used here the synonym of the word, which is, instead of majority I wrote it to some. Then for the folks I wrote people. To reflect or to show the favor I used here highlight, right? It's demerits first. So you can also use pros or cons, you can also use disadvantages and advantages. The main light is that you don't need to use words time and again. Always try to use different synonyms of the word, right? So in my further paragraphs, advantages and disadvantages of the same will be discussed. So in the first part I used merits and demerits, and now instead of merits and demerits I used here advantages and disadvantages. So always try to use a wide range of vocabulary, and when you will use a wide range of vocabulary, so definitely the chances for you to get good band score is high. Talking about the body paragraph, so initiating with the benefits of the same, right? So the first and the foremost key benefit is that, for example, dash. Another benefit which can strike the minds of people can be dash. To cite an example, dash. So after writing first advantage, I relied on for example. Instead of for example, you can also use for instance. And then initially I used the first and the foremost key benefit. Then I used another benefit, right? I did, instead of another benefit, you can also use the second benefit, and at last but not the least, to instead of to cite an example, you can also use to illustrate or else to demonstrate, right? So always try to use a wide range of vocabulary. Then talking about the disadvantages, on its darker side, some of the drawbacks which makes it problematic are first, secondly, for instance, last but not the least. So I think these linking words are very helpful. I will also, after this video or in this video only, I will tell you about different linking words which you can use for your writing task 1 and 2, right? In conclusion, to the above statement, neither its pros nor its cons can be ignored. It is a mixed bag of positives and negatives. In my opinion, the statement should not be underestimated, right? So always, first of all, try to use as it is template, right? Instead of few linkage words, you can use different linkage words as well for sure. But at the same time, if you are using different words, please don't make grammatical mistakes. And also, you should know how to and where to use exclamation mark, where and how to use commas, where and how to use full stop. So the question is, some people think that it would be better for large companies and industries to move regional areas outside large urban centers. Do you think advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Right. So this is your question. So initially, like for 3 to 4 minutes, you need to understand the question, right? Always try to invest 3 to 4 minutes on the question and try to highlight the keywords which you can use for your writing task response. So definitely the examiner here is asking about what can be the advantages to move regional areas outside large urban centers. Do you think advantages outweighs the disadvantages? So in this advantages and disadvantages paragraph, you need to highlight advantages as well as disadvantages. Then at last you have to give your conclusion. What do you think about that statement or a sentence? And in the first paragraph, you need to introduce that why you are writing this sentence, why you are giving introduction about the sentence, what things you need to be highlight. So always try to use a template, but before that let's just focus on few points. Okay, so since if this question will exam in my D-Day, what things I am going to keep in my mind. If large companies and industries will move to regional areas outside large urban centers, so what advantages can be there? So there can be one advantage for the supply chain management, that okay, they will not waste their more precious time in traffic, which is very much common in urban areas, right? And also if I talk about the urban areas, which is a bit more deployed in pollution, so there are a lot of problems for which urban areas are a bit problematic in terms of pollution, in terms of population, in terms of these kind of things. So definitely the regional area has some advantage over large urban centers over disadvantages. So if I talk about the disadvantages of the urban or rural, sorry, if I talk about the disadvantages of the rural areas over urban areas, so definitely the first thing is that the probability to get the skilled employee to the companies will decrease, right? But at the same time, if I, for some purpose, I need some unskilled workers, right? So that is the point which you have to keep in your mind. Another thing which you can write here is that about the job employability, that the job employability in rural area will increase. It will open the doors for the rural people as well, that more jobs can be you can give them, and then you have to offer. But at the same time, if you are the CEO of a company, you don't need to think from that emotional point of view as well. But still, if the companies in regional areas will set up, so definitely more and immense opportunities will be open to the people who put up there. So these are the things which you have to keep in your mind while writing advantages and disadvantages. So I think here, while I will use my introduction part, I can choose here. There is no denying fact that the phenomena of encouraging businesses from urban areas to rural areas is very prevailing, or else is ubiquitous across the globe due to its importance. Majority of folks are in the favor of this statement due to its number of merits. However, some people highlights its demerits first. In my further paragraphs, advantages and disadvantages of the same will be discussed. Then whatever advantages and disadvantages I have dictated here, you can write the same in the form of keyword, and then you can use these kind of keywords in your index underline, and then according to that grammatical structures, you are just one step away from uh, presenting your ideas in the mind and then writing and quoting it down to the answer sheet or else on your computer screen, right? And for conclusion, you can use in conclusion to the above statement, neither its pros nor its cons can be neglected. It is a mixed bag of both positives and negatives. It is my favorite line. I use it everywhere whenever you have to be diplomatic in some way or the other, so definitely you can use this line everywhere, and then you will get to go with. And then last but not the least, in my opinion, the statement should not be underestimated. So let's just let me show you my response, what it looks like. So the phenomena of encouraging businesses here and individuals to move out of the cities to the rural areas by the government is ubiquitous across the globe, right? So definitely few things I have copied and pasted from the statement only, but still I haven't used the exact statement, right? I have used the synonyms like businesses, like individuals. So always try to jot the information from the question only, but it would be prudent for you if you will do some changes, right? If the voice is active voice, change it into passive voice, or else if the voice is passive voice, change it into active voice, and vice versa. So the majority of folks, I haven't done any changes in the introduction, right? So my introduction will good to go with for that. Talking about this paragraph in which I talked about the advantages. So initiating with the benefits, the first and the foremost key benefit is about the more job opportunities for the rural people. For example, it will open the doors for the unskilled workers, as well as it can be helpful for them to give the employment and can improve the overall economy as well, right? Another benefit that can strike the minds of people can be about the reduced pollution and population in overpopulated urban areas. That's it. I was very clear with the things and the keywords, and then you don't need to overwrite the things, right? Let's just talk about another things. To cite an example, problems like traffic and pollution can be reduced to some extent. On its darker side, if I talk about the drawbacks which makes it problematic are, firstly, the limited number of resources in the rural areas, secondly, huge financial capacity and budget, are required to set up businesses in rural areas. To cite an example, a large amount of funding is required by the companies to set up their businesses from scratch in the rural areas. So I think in conclusion to the above statement, neither its pros nor its cons can be ignored. It is a mixed bag of positives and negatives. However, in my opinion, the statement should not be underestimated. So here for the conclusion, I used in my opinion, right? I used in it is a mixed bag of both positives and negatives. Then for the conclusion, I used this in conclusion to the above statement. Then to highlights its cons, I used here on its darker side few of the drawbacks which makes it problematic are firstly this is wrong. uh, Only firstly one time will come, right? This something we need to rectify. That's it. So definitely if you will write this kind of response in your exam, so definitely the probability is you will get more than 7.5 for sure. That's it for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.